Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust, Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. This is the vault, episode 448, financial fraud. This is gonna definitely be, open space conversation. Definitely, we're not financial advice, we're not legal advice, but we're gonna have those conversations about things that entrepreneurs have, investors have in the public, about different things that come up and ultimately end up just getting taken their money. That's just what happens. It's called financial fraud. So we're going to talk about it today. Of course, there's various levels of this per the authorities, but we're going to talk about it from, once again, the quote unquote innocent bystanders that are, are what are called collateral. Uh, in the whole situation, you're called collateral, whether you know it or not. Your assets are considered collateral, uh, and so we're going to talk about it today. Of course, this isn't anything new. This is something that's happened for years. Uh, just many years where people have experienced. Uh, you either experience the stories or you read about the stories. But either way, one way or another, they end up happening, and we're going to talk about it today. And this conversation really came up because we were in a room with some high net worth investors recently. Easily, all of them are over 25 million liquid. Uh, Really more of a 50 position, maybe a 100 position for sure, with a few of them sitting in a room. A few of them in a room have built over $100 million companies. So we're sitting in a room with these individuals and we're being pitched ideas. And, it's always funny to see the ideas that come in and the mentors or the business individuals that are sitting in the room pretty much rip you a new one, rip the company as a new one because they're financial frauds and they don't even know it. They think that they can come up with this. What is it? What is it? Sharing, something of that nature. It's like crowdfunding. Now these crowdfunding things have popped up in abundance. And it's not to say that these things don't last. You see obviously companies that they obviously have platforms for these crowdfunding platforms. You see all the time now popping up for real estate. You see it for even just investing. Oh, micro investing. You can invest, blah blah. So we see these type of operations going on in the public, and we're sitting in a room with once again, individuals that would definitely be considered sophisticated investors to see that the heart that they have for the common investor, saying that, hey, why would you set up a business that takes from the guy that's putting in his last? Why would you set up a business that takes from the individuals that's investing their life savings? Why would you take that? That's financial predatory acts. These are things that what are they going to do? They're going to file bankruptcy on the investors. That's what they do. They file bankruptcy. They act like these aren't tricks of the trade. These are tricks of the trade. Do you hear? They're tricks of the trade. Oh no, we're going to shut up a bankruptcy before it all goes hits the fan. Why? Because we've been robbing Peter to pay Paul. Oh wow. So Madoff got off with it for years. That's where we are now. But now you're in the tech era where these tech companies are able to possibly do things in rather short spurts. $1 billion valuation, multiple $1 billion valuations. Oh, they were going to the moon. They were $1 trillion valuations. We're going to talk about it on this episode because we're sitting in a room and we're sitting with people that are saying these. You got to remember when you set up some crowd sharing or crowdfunding, whatever it is, crowds for whatever where you go as a group fund source with moms and pops and grandmoms and elderly people and people that are not sophisticated investors. What happens? So we're going to talk about it because these people care. People that have quite a bit of capital, They care. We're sitting in the room with multiple mentors on a daily basis. The peers, daily basis, we're sitting in these rooms. Here's what one of the rooms says. Well, let's talk about literally, they're reading the 10K of the company. The documents that these companies put out in the public and say, this is who we are, and we got to make a disclaimer. So let's hear part of the disclaimer from one of the, you say, oh, crypto is a viable source. I'm going to make my wealth. You don't even hear about these guys anymore. You hear about the whales, they got wiped out. They're not a whale. They're not whales. Oh, I'm a crypto whale. They're not crypto whales. They're like minnows right now, swimming around in the sea. But no one wants to say that they're guppies. Which one are you? Are you the fake whale or are you the guppy that just got ate up in this whole 10-year, 15-year debacle? Oh no, Trust Christian of all, you're calling out the way I made money. I'm living off of the crypto investment. I'm living off the crypto investment, the passive crypto investment. These guys they're trading money, they're trading crypto, they're trading passively, and I'm getting a return. 3% a week. You think we don't hear that? We hear that. Oh, we're getting 3% a week. So that means we're getting 12% a month. You think we don't hear that? 12% a month is more than 12% a year. So they're getting 12% a month. Oh, we're hearing that. We hear that at the vault. Oh no, we got these investments going on. This is what we're hearing. Oh, then we got these investments going on passive. It's in the crypto space and they're giving us a return. Quiet. Crickets. Because they're not whales. They're minnows in a big sea. So we're going to read. One of the mentors brought to our attention, one of the peers brings to our attention. Sit in the room, once again, when you're sitting in a room with people that are sophisticated, you say, yeah, I read through the 10K. Damn, you got that much time? You going to read through the 10K? So they read through the 10K. And this is what it says. In paraphrase, out of one of the crypto companies, this is what they say. So it's easy for them to go ahead and file bankruptcy on your money. So all of them can file bankruptcy on your money. Because all of these guys from Silicon Valley that have filed companies in the Bahamas, yeah, or wherever they're at, wherever country, we're not tarnishing the Bahamas name, but any of these BVI countries, or oh, we got it set up in Silicon Valley, this is what they got in their contracts. For you all the guys that, oh, I want to keep investing in the crypto because it's a great place to be because it's the technology of the future. End quote. Mentors brought to our attention. Sophisticated investors sit in a room, bring to your attention. Because custodial, end quote, because custodial held crypto assets may be considered to be the property of the bankruptcy estate. In the event of a bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in the custody on behalf of our customers should be subject to the bankruptcy proceedings, and such customers could be treated as our general unsecured creditors. Now, this is something you say, oh, Judge Christian Vault, there's no way that that's in the contract. It's in the contract of most of the major institutions. We're not reading out something that's not normal. Oh, it's the fine print. Yeah, because we sit around people that are willing to investigate in the companies and read a document, something as simple as the fine print of the document. If it's a 25-page document, yes, they're going to read all of it. And they read it and they brought it to our attention. So when you sit in a room with high net worth investors and they're bringing this stuff to your attention, you say, oh, wow, how are you going to be considering the customers a general unsecured creditor? You didn't even know you were called that. Oh, where's the full disclosure? It's written in the document one thing, but guess what? When it all comes down to it, it's another thing. Right. So we're sitting around. Of course, we keep our ear to the street. We don't need you to, oh, give us the scoop. Trust Christian of all, you're going to give us the scoop. We're going to name names that are actually considered public names. So they're public names. They've been sued because they've been in what we just read about. This isn't, oh, it's no way my favorite boxer's going to be part of a fraud. We can Google it right now how Floyd Mayweather, the name has been sued per the SEC for acts of when it comes to the crypto space. You want to go? Your favorite producer's producer, DJ Khaled, of course, has been sued because they were promoting a crypto. Okay, don't do that, Trust Christian of all. My favorite quarterback's a quarterback, Tom Brady. We actually had a story come across our table the other day. The favorite name of Tom Brady has been connected with a fraud of the crypto space. Okay, that's my favorite quarterback's quarterback. Not my favorite rapper's rapper. My favorite rapper's rapper, Snoop Dogg. He's been sued because he's promoted the Bored Apes and the NFTs, and these things are part of the crypto space. Hold on. My favorite singer. She's like the favorite singer of all time singer, right? Madonna has been connected with what? Fraud, financial fraud through these crypto exchange tools. They think about it. Hold on. My favorite celebrity, Kim K, has been sued. Oh, it's not a big deal to be sued, Trust Christian of all. It's financial fraud. They're promoting means that don't even have a real ends. But they got paid from it for promoting it. Oh, so they have a marketing company. These are marketers. They marketed a financial fraud. Oh no, Trust Christian in the vault. That's wow. I gotta hear that. These people, how can they promote the financial fraud? Right. How can they promote it? And that's why we're still doing asset protection workshops to this day. Because we understand the importance of having an asset protection workshop. You got to protect your greatest assets. It's not just, oh, your money, it's the intellectual property, it's the knowledge you have. That's why we have a workshop coming up on January 14th. It's important to protect your greatest asset, for sure. So here we go. You got your favorite celebrities and all these people promoting a financial fraud. How do you navigate the environment of quality investments as a mom and pop, grandma, uncle, whoever's investing with $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, less than $100,000? When you have access to less than $100,000 in lines of credit, maybe even less than a million, their decision making thought process is different than someone that is making more than $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. They're living 30. They're living at. They could almost live at $1,000 a day. These are different individuals. But then we see the financial fraud has been perpetrated by the people that have tons of capital. So are the employees or are they entrepreneurs? That's the big difference. Are the employees entrepreneurs? We're sitting around entrepreneurs. The big difference. Employees, they're going to hit you with what you just saw. Most of those people, they worked for somebody at one point. Not to say we all don't work for somebody at one point, but it's a different type of work for somebody because when you do invest, you investigate first. Sure, it's a long, hard process. Oh, I gotta investigate before I invest. Trust Christian vote. I don't want to hear the hard truth. I hear a red flag. I can't be in it. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to get a 3% return every week. I'm trying to get a 3% return. That's a 12% return every month. There's nothing in the stock market that's going to give you that. The stock market don't give you that, right? Because the stock market isn't made for it to give you that. You have to find a way for the market to give you that. It's just not going to give you that. If that was the case, people would be doing it all left and right. Oh man, the stock market. How's the stock market going to give you that when 80% of the fund could be one company? When you're looking at a Tesla or something, when they go public finally, and they have 300 billion. Then they became $1 trillion company type stuff. How do you get around that? This company hasn't sold more cars than Ford. Oh, it's just the beginning stages. Right. So how are they valued more than Ford? Oh, you got these tech companies. These tech companies. Oh, I'm a $100 billion company. I'm a hundred billion now. 100 billion. Oh, we going 30 billion. They making billions look like it's millions. You got these guys in this crypto space or whatever you want to call them, tech space, otherwise. And they're trying to make it look like, oh, well, we're not going to go under. What do you mean it can't go under? You've already seen these companies go under. First of all, the crypto companies are tech and they're going under. That's how you know. People say, oh man, I need the regulation. I need the regulation. You got to have the regulation. Because otherwise, these guys are going to take you and turn you into some unsecured creditor. And they got that in the documents. Oh, Trust Christian and Vault, thank you for exposing that to me because I didn't read that part in the document. I wasn't gonna get to that in a 10K because I just wasn't gonna get to that. But now that I know that I'm at, you think I'm gonna make the hard decision and get out of these so-called half-ass investments, these Ponzi schemes? No, it's in the documents though. Well, it's not financial fraud. Why? Because they put it in the documents. They gave me full disclosure. That's how they're able to pretty much abscond with billions. They absconded with 1 billion. They were cleaning themselves with street ply. Where you were living off of 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000. Hard earned dollars. Hard earned. Oh, they were hard earned. And these financial frauds. Oh, Trust Christian Vote, we didn't think you was going to have to talk about. We're talking about because we're sitting in a room with people that got 25 million, 100 million, and they sitting there like, that's predatory. They got it in the documents. How's it predatory though? When they got it in the documents and you can read the documents. Maybe you don't read it to know what they talking about the first time. Maybe you don't know what they saying after you read it the second time. But you can keep rereading it until you get it. We see what's going on. First it's supposed to be all they do is change terms in the front end of the documents. But in the back end of the documents, what do they make you? Let's go ahead and reread it again for all the new listeners. This is coming from a 10K, which is in pretty much most crypto investments, most crypto exchanges. You can just read their 10Ks. In quote, because custodially held crypto assets may be considered to be the property of a bankruptcy estate. So you see these companies are going to file for bankruptcy. We paused because it's a comma. And you see these companies, they're going to go ahead and file for bankruptcy. Oh, but are they doing it early or are they doing it before or after? Well we're going to start from the beginning and just go ahead through it. Because this is what you're going to see. And if many or more of them fold, they're folding under this auspice. Because custodially held crypto assets may be considered to be the property of a bankruptcy estate, in the event of a bankruptcy, the crypto assets we hold in custody on behalf of our customers could be subject to the bankruptcy proceedings, and such customers could be treated as our generally unsecured creditors. End quote. Oh wow. I'm on my favorite exchanges exchange. I what they say? Get a cold wallet. You got a hard wallet. You think we don't hear this? Get a cold wallet. Get a hard wallet. Don't have the asset stuck on the exchange. Oh really? When the damn exchanges are going under, where are you gonna exchange the assets? But I got it at this point. Yeah, and did it hold value? Market wise, does this still hold value? But oh no, no. We're the unsecured creditors. They come to us all the time to the vault. Oh, we're trying to be the we're trying to be the secured party. We've been hearing that for years. We're trying to be the secured party. Right. They looking to be the secured party. Because on the front end, these companies, They got people in an unsecured position, and they're a creditor at that, and they can turn you into that by having it written in the documents. This is trust Christian owned not to control everything. This is why we talk about the trustee training. This is the asset protection. When you go to asset protection workshop, of course, there's knowledge disseminated. It's not just, oh, well, it's the one thing or the other thing. It's the full encompassing thing. It's a family trustee training. That's what it is. From 9 to 4 on January. Some trustees could say, well, if I go to the same trustee training, am I going to hear the same thing? You shouldn't hear the same thing. Some people, we hear people all the time say, this is a resounding. If we had a button that said, well, did you hear the same thing, but it resonated more? Or you heard something that we know we've repeated, and they say, oh, it finally clicked. These are the things that we hear when people come to the workshops. We appreciate people for coming to the workshops for many years now. Look forward to this workshop on January 14th. Reach out, Christian at trustchristian.com. Get registered for the workshop. We know what the workshop's going to have presented. Once again, we have, uh, it's always going to be the basics, and of course the primarily in Stay Late crew. These are the people that end up getting the old wise sages, gems and jewels, and that's what it's all about. Some people may say, oh, I came, I saw, I got it all. And how can you come and see and get it all when you're in an ever evolving environment? And that's that. So we just look forward to people coming to the workshop and actually knowing and understanding how to even avoid these pitfalls by not just hearing these episodes, but by being around the environment. Like we say, we're in the environment where the seniors have, $50 million assets under management. That's the low end. That's being conservative. And they're saying, look, you need to be concerned about investing in financial frauds, whether that's you, the investor, or you being the person that's investing. When we say you, the investor, we're talking about you investing in the business, not you being the investor saying, oh, I'm taking my money and I'm putting it in a company. So many people think, oh, it's just, I'm going to take my money and get a passive position. No, we're talking about people that are investing in the financial frauds. Oh wow, you have to have wise eyes. So we're sitting in a room and we're seeing wise eyes say, no, you can't just crowdsource money for different deals because it doesn't work that way. Because these are people that have seen deals and they dealt in these different environments, and they're saying, no, it's not that easy to just crowdsource money in deals. Oh, we're going to crowdsource funds. Why? Because you have to have integrity. These people, they don't have integrity. That's why their companies go under. You don't need to ask questions. So, well, why does it go under? Trust Christian in the vault. Why does it not do what it says it's supposed to do? Trust Christian in the vault. Because they don't have integrity. You think these banks have stood around because they have integrity? They don't have integrity? You think, oh, he's the president, the ex-president of the United States. He doesn't have integrity. Right. And when they sued his company for tax fraud, they paid a fine. Oh, is that what Kim K did? Is that what the rest of these individuals do? They just pay fines? But they can also bankrupt companies? And who's the little guy that they say that they're trying to protect? The little guy. Oh, don't take from the little guy. Right. The ones that pay the fines aren't taking from the little guys. The ones that take the companies under. The ones that don't pay out. You didn't hear in the tax fraud scheme of Donald Trump's company, oh, well, he didn't pay the people. What are you talking about? Go back and read the cases. We read it on the previous episode, on episode 447, where supposedly he paid the employees lavishly. Oh, their apartment, they get a car. Their wives or their husband gets a car. Right. So he's paying people lavishly. Oh, they get a house. They get an apartment. But then you got one guy in the company that takes the company because he did what? He commingled funds. Trustees know this when they come to the vault. One of the guys commingled the funds and he's going to serve 5 months and possibly get a $500,000 payout in February or January. That's how it works. Do they have to pay the fines though? Are they gonna have to pay a fine for for the financial fraud, or are they just gonna get away with the money? Did they steal money from the little guy? See, these are the questions you gotta ask when you talk about the financial fraud. Oh, did he take money from the little guy? They always talk about, oh, it's the little guy. The grandmas know the life savings. 10,000, 20,000. They put that in there. They put their $150,000 life savings that they had finally saved up, or their $250,000 savings. They actually, people do this. You hear about it? They call it the scams, but it's the financial fraud. Okay, okay, they got that going on out here. But this seems like this has been going on for a while. Once again, exactly. You got to investigate before you invest. You got to maybe take some wise advice. Oh man, I heard Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger say they wouldn't do anything with the crypto, but these some old guys and they don't know nothing. But then I got this new guy, he's telling me he listens to Warren Buffett, but then at the same time he's messing with the crypto. Exactly. So when you hear the contradiction or the contradiction, this distinction in the contradiction, you got you got clarity. You got clarity on what's going on. These guys are telling you the newspaper because you didn't read it. You didn't read all of it. You wasn't up to date on the news. Y'all don't want to hear on the vault that we were sitting here watching one of your favorite news station come on news one day and say, "Oh, this is what we heard from OPEC plus," and the next day they come on the news and say, "Oh yeah, that was a misreport." Now, for people that are busy working 9 to 5s, of course they didn't hear that because they were working a job. They didn't hear the news for 2 hours. They didn't hear the news station come on the air and say, "Oh, it was a misreport." But that happens all the time. That's not one time, and we caught it recently. Your favorite news station, Big Five news station. Oh, and then they came on the next day and reported, oh, that was a misreport. But oh no, it can't be the fake news. Trust Christian to vote. Don't tell me it's a such thing as the fake news. How is it really true? I knew it was true, and you telling me it's even more true. So what's the real source of information? Ladies and gentlemen, if we're in the age of information, you're supposed to have your all-seeing eye and looking over the information. You're not supposed to take it as the gospel. It's not the Bible. It's not your coveted information. It's information. Some magazines, some news publications, they make you pay for their information. Still in 2022. Oh man, information's supposed to be free. It's supposed to be flying over the internet. I'm supposed to be able to Google everything. Right. I'm gonna Google the private information. I'm gonna get it on discount. I'm gonna get the private information for less than $1,000. Right. I'm gonna get the private information for $700. I'm gonna get the private information for what? Less than 7 grand? Oh no, the private education should be cheaper than the public education, right? Public education, they giving out student loan forgiveness program. Huh? That's how you know it's dog shit. You want to go there? They giving out student loan forgiveness programs for something that's supposed to be valuable. It's supposed to be valuable. It's called a financial fraud. So they give you a forgiveness program. Well, see, the government can do that because they're giving you subsidies to get the education, which makes the price of the education go up in the first place. So they're subsidizing their own cost of going up. It's not hard to see that. But is it a financial fraud? It's going on in front of your eyes. They gave a disclaimer. Asset Protection Conference. That's why you do them. Because people come over the years and years and years and they just say, look, I need to protect myself. Once again, this is what we'll say. Those your favorite celebrities and all those people we named at the beginning of the episode, they got sued, right? And they paid the fine. But when you own nothing, control everything, don't they have student forgiveness loans? Because these people can't pay their student forgiveness loans, right? This is where we are in 2022, going into 2023. It's been perpetrated. The financial literacy that all these people are here purporting. Why don't we see our peers and mentors? They're not complaining about having financial literacy. First of all, when you go to industry workshops, you're in the loop of what's going on with what's financially literate. So if you're in the financial environment, you're getting up to date, financially literate information. It's not somebody telling you, rah rah, hoorah, you can make it. Rah rah, you can do it. Has nothing to do with that. It's an industry workshop, an industry conversation from peers once again. So we can't just call them our mentors, they're peers because we're sitting in the room getting financially literate information. Not oh, they're giving it to us. We're exchanging financially literate quote unquote investment in ideas. Oh, don't know. I don't know if I need to go to that workshop because it costs what? It's the cost of education. And we sat in a room with many people that make that once again well over $25 million, well over $50 million, well over $100 million. Easy. This is just being conservative for a few. And they're sitting in an industry workshop. So how is someone say, well, I need to go to the financial literacy workshop, the generational wealth workshop? We're not even gonna say, oh, the 10x company is this, that, and the third. But first of all, oh, we're flying in this person and that person. People that have been part of financial frauds. Oh, well, has everybody been part of financial fraud? No. Many people have not been properly accused. Maybe their companies, maybe this, maybe that, but they have not been. And that's the important part. Because they've known to pay out the investors. You didn't hear them say, "Oh, Donald Trump didn't pay his employees." The man was giving the people's significant others a car. That's the least he could do if you're gonna pay them lavishly. Because if you're underpaying them, you're not giving them a car. You're not giving them apartments. He was using supposedly executive benefits to the extreme. Right. How do you dodge these bullets? It's simple. You sit around other sophisticated investors and asset managers. You actually have to sit around these people. Some of these people we sit around the room, they're entrepreneurs. Some of them are asset managers, um, investors, what you want to call them. If they're not entrepreneurs, um, and so once again, when you sit around these individuals, you see um, even them. We've sat in the room, people that have over $50 million sitting in the room at the table with us say, "Oh wow, we heard the crypto guy talk, and it still didn't make sense." And this was, we've been how many years into it, and it still doesn't make sense to a sophisticated investor. There's somebody that's made over $50 million. You gonna sit there and tell him, "Oh, he doesn't know anything about money." How does he not know anything about money? They made $50 million. What you mean they don't know anything about money? Oh, they don't know anything about money. This is somebody that's stupid, financially stupid. So they have financial literacy workshops. Why? Because people are financially illiterate. So they have financially literate workshops, right? But when you sit in a room with somebody that, if you made over 25 to $50 million, you're at least financially literate. We're not saying you're literate in many other ways, but you're elite. You got enough to know I'm gonna hold on to this. And they had over 50 million, and they sat there and said, well, it still doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, we sat with somebody that we sat in the room with IRAs that were crypto based, So you can't say, oh, wow, they didn't get into the government environment or try to get in these subsidized environments. They try to get in these subsidized environments and whatever. If they're going to be unregulated, as you can see, a lot of them have just fallen to pieces, partially because there's been a lot of the shakesters and moosters. We don't want to say that these pimply face guys in Silicon Valley just want to go take a quick shite or pee on the small guy and take the little guy's money. But clearly, we're seeing these companies go under. We're seeing people be sued left and right. If you want to say that this is the great theft of our time, we've reported this many times at the vault. It is a super well. It's not when people talk about, oh, it's a wealth transfer going on. How is it not a wealth transfer going on when they're stealing your wealth through a coin? Oh, take it out of the public and put it in a private exchange. Put it on your cold wallet. Put it on your hard wallet. It's not financial advice. It's not legal advice. Put it on your cold wallet. Put it on your hard wallet. The damn coin's not worth anything. The company went out of business. The exchanges are going out of business. Oh, don't say that it's the house is burning, Trust Christian in the vault. You sound like the house is burning. Well, you don't want to hear that all the people that we named are pretty much like Hall of Famers, multimillionaires, and they're claiming and purported that they're billionaires. So they're part of it. They're a part of the great theft. So not only is it Wall Street, it's Main Street. But Wall Street hasn't really gotten their hands dirty. Wall Street has kept their hands out of this crypto stuff if y'all want to go there. They haven't pulled over the super fraud yet. The super fraud has come from these private companies. Oh no, Trust Christian Navarre, you attacking the private? We're not attacking the private. We're going there though. These private companies that are, well, whether they're in the BVI, um, they're private because they're not public. They're not regulated. People are engaging with, oh, I want to go into private. No, how you gonna go into private? You see what Robinhood did. They went public real quick. And let's look at this company. In the years that it's been around, this was supposed to be the next greatest thing since sliced bread. This was going to make investing for the millennials easier. It was going to make investing for the millennials. Oh, it's going to be so smooth. It's going to make it's going to make the investment for these guys easy. That's what it's going to be. Okay, company launches, goes public, July 30th, 2021, $35. Where's the company at? Wait now. The company's at $9 on December 10th, 2022 on the public market, on the public exchange. That's the bottom line. It's at $9.31. Oh wow. No, no, no. It can't be that cheap. It can't be that low. That's the depression of the market. The market's compressing. What? You want to go there? Let's go financial jargon. That's how they're able to go IPO $35. That's how they're able to go $7 stock. It isn't because of the market, it's because of value. Some companies are up right now since 2021. This company's down for a reason. Oh, they're going to make a comeback. They can make an acquisition. They can get bought out, blah, blah. We can hear every alternative source. We know from what we're aware of, this company has purported to be an exchange. And they've lost the value per the market. Bottom line. What about you? Did you weather the storm? These companies are just going to file bankruptcy and say that their creditors are unsecured. That's what these companies are going to do. People want to say, oh, I believe in big tech. I'm with big tech. Big tech, hey, but nothing wrong with big tech. But as you can see, big tech right here has pulled over a quandary. They pulled over a quagmire. Because you got sophisticated investors in the room saying so a lot of these crowdsourcing platforms for crowdfunding platforms are literally absconding funds. How are they not absconding funds? They're literally absconding funds through their terminology and their paperwork. Oh, $1 billion company just went under overnight. Oh no, did you just see it? You did see it. But does it matter? Does it really matter? Oh, Trust Christian Vol, what? You trying to tell me that's true? A $1 billion company just went under? Go count the zeros. These companies are going under. How is a $1 billion company going under and you don't think you could be rich? You don't think you could be wealthy, or you don't think you got the time to take the time to invest in a quality investment. Maybe you're not gonna steal $1 billion in your lifetime. So maybe that's why you might not have $1 billion. But at least you're not gonna steal $1 billion from a people. You're not gonna steal $1 billion. There's a difference between stealing $1 billion and earning it. So when we sit in a room with people that have $25 million, $50 million, $100 million, say, yeah, that's probably not a good investment right there. That's probably not a good idea right there because it looks like it's taken from the little guy. As you can see, maybe the guys that are stealing these billions, and it's so, hey, let's call a spade a spade. Maybe you okay with it because you don't think you're going to earn $1 billion in your life. But what happens when somebody is stealing from the little guy, such as yourself? Even from the guys that got some millions. They're thinking about having financial prudence. This is where we are. We're right here where the workshops are. You got to do the dirty work, ladies and gentlemen. You got to read the documents, the fine print. Is that what it is? Yes. Appreciate you for tuning in live, listening, to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Looking forward to seeing all the new trustees at the workshop. Uh, all the old trustees at the workshop, senior trustees, we should say. It's definitely going to be a great one. Look forward to seeing you all. Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace and joy.